Have you ever looked down at a checkerboard floor and felt like you were falling forward? Or felt something was crawling on your skin when there was nothing there? Or smelled smoke in the room when nothing was burning? I've experienced some of these myself as an MS patient, but also there's a lot I haven't heard of myself as a nurse. However, they do exist, and all of you out there as my fellow MSers can attest to that, and might be too afraid to talk about them, worried that the doc will think you're nuts. Today I'm covering 8 rare, real MS symptoms that almost never make the standard symptoms checklist. So let's go. Weird MS symptoms coming right up. Some people with MS describe feeling like they're falling forward or like the ground is tilting, specifically when looking at a high contrast visual pattern type thing. And that could be a checkerboard floor, a busy patterned rug, or a super crowded supermarket aisle. This has a real name and it's called visual vertigo. Research using MRI has found that people with visual vertigo have more white matter changes in the brain than people without it. The same kind of changes MS causes. Separately, MS patients' organizations describe a related floating type of dizziness tied to inflammation in the nervous system. If busy visual patterns have ever made you feel unsteady in a way that felt hard to explain, this is very likely why. So, while we're on this ghost-like topic train, let's move on to the next phantom. This one has an almost unbelievable name once you've heard it described. Formication. Get your mind out of the gutter. No, this is the sensation of insects crawling on or under your skin with nothing actually there. MS patient organizations describe this as one of the more common altered sensations in MS, right alongside burning and prickling. This happens because damaged nerves send scrambled signals to the brain, and the brain, unable to make sense of the signal, relates it to something it recognizes like bugs crawling on your skin. It's not a delusion, and it's not in your head. It's a documented nerve signaling issue with a name. I definitely recall a burning and prickling kind of sensation during my flare, and possibly even a skosh of the neck symptom. Most people have heard of the classic MS hug, that squeezing, banding sensation around the ribs of the torso. What's less talked about is that this same squeezing sensation can happen in the arms, hands, and feet, not just the trunk. Medical sources describe it as a feeling of pressure or tightness wrapped around a limb, caused by the same nerve signal disruption as the torso version. If you felt a tight squeezing sensation in a single arm or leg and assumed it couldn't be the MS hug because it wasn't in your chest, well, it can be. However, what if instead of a squeeze, it's like a buzz? This one is a real published neurological finding. Some people with MS feel a constant internal buzzing or vibrating sensation with no visible shaking at all. It's called internal tremor, and it's been documented in peer-reviewed research alongside Parkinson's disease and essential tremor. One patient described it as feeling like sitting on a pager under a couch cushion. If you've ever felt like your body was quietly humming from the inside, especially at rest or trying to fall asleep, that's internal tremor. And now you know it has a clinical name. Now we're moving on from the internal to the external with the next system. Allodynia means ordinary, non-painful touch, like clothing, bed sheets, a light breeze, and that registers as pain. Patients who have experienced this describe it as a feeling like sunburned skin or like sandpaper dragging across the body, even though nothing is actually irritating the skin. It's a well-documented sensory symptom of MS caused by the same nerve miscommunication behind the other sensations on this list. If getting dressed has ever genuinely hurt for no visible reason, this may be very likely what was happening. This one is genuinely rare, so I want to be precise about the evidence. General smell impairment. Fellow medical peeps and I all are thinking the same kind of thing. You know what I mean? That's a reduced or distorted smell is fairly well documented in MS, affecting roughly a quarter of people with the condition in pooled research. True phantosmia, where you smell something specific like smoke or something burning with no source, is far less common and mostly described in individual cases reports type things rather than large studies. However, it is real and it has been documented in connection with MS. It's just one of the rare entries on this list. So if you experience it, it's worth mentioning to your neurologist precisely because it's unusual enough to be worth ruling out over other things along with it. Just my personal little take. I have to say that even as a nurse, I didn't even think that these symptoms were even out there at all. I've honestly learned so much from all of your comments, from both as a patient and as a nurse. And although I knew a good amount of these, I have found that learning all of this has taught me, and hopefully you too, that all bets are off when it comes to the nervous system and autoimmune diseases. Having MS, you really have to learn to just keep your expectations really low and be down for whatever. All right, my biggest personal symptom experience is coming up soon. Let's keep going. All right, this one, it's a heightened, often painful sensitivity to ordinary sounds. A ringing phone, crinkling paper, a normal conversation that goes well beyond the typical noise annoyance. It's called Hyperacusis, and it's been documented in MS case studies as a central hearing problem, meaning the ears themselves test normal, but the brain's processing of sound is disrupted. Researchers have linked it to demyelinating lesions in the brainstem and central auditory pathway. In one case series, all 3 patients had normal hearing tests, but visible lesions on MRI in exactly the same areas that process incoming sound. One patient in that research found the sound of wrinkling paper bags unbearable. Another had shooting facial pain triggered by a ringing phone. If ordinary sounds have started to feel physically overwhelming rather than just irritating, this is a real documented reason why, not a sign you're too sensitive. Now the next one, I honestly didn't consider as a connection with my MS, and well, I've been struggling with it a lot lately. Woof. Again, I want to be precise here. This is a rare case report level finding rather than a common symptom, but it is documented. Case reports have described sudden, severe jaw clenching and teeth grinding beginning within 2 weeks of an MS attack in patients with no prior history of bruxism, confirmed with sleep studies in at least one case. Separately, larger comparative research has found that jaw clenching, bruxism, produces measurably different effects in people with MS than in people without it. The National MS Society's own dental health guidance lists bruxism among the ways MS symptoms can affect oral health. So if you've developed jaw pain, morning headaches, or an unexplained tooth wear since your diagnosis, this is worth raising to your neurologist, not just your dentist. I have personally been experiencing a ton with this symptom, severe tightness, and even had a really bad spell last Thanksgiving that felt like a hot knife being driven into my jaw right by my ear. Long story short, I'm needing to do Invisalign to help straighten my bite. Otherwise, the enamel on my teeth will be gone and I'll be in Crown City. Ugh. Here's the part that actually changes how an appointment goes when you see your doctor. A described feeling and named clinical symptom get treated differently, even when they're the exact same sensation. I feel weird sometimes. Well, that's vague and that's easy to file really just under stress. Where I have formication, a crawling sensation with no external cause, usually in my left arm, lasting a few minutes that really distracts my work, well, that's a specific documented symptom that a clinician has to actually engage with. There's an actual name for it. It's called functional language. Now, I know you're all out there doing the very best you can when you're in your doctor's appointments and trying to explain what's going on. However, using this tool can it will prevent in a lot of medical gaslighting. Gaslighting in medicine, at its core, is a provider dismissing a real complaint as vague or psychological instead of investigating it. And vagueness is exactly the opening that allows that to happen. So, using the actual term doesn't guarantee you'll be believed, but it closes off the easiest excuse not to be. So if any of these 8 had a name you didn't have before today, well, that name is now a tool. So jot it down and use it for your next appointment. Not that they necessarily did before, but none of these symptoms need to be scary once they have a name. What they need is documentation. If any of these sound familiar, make sure to write it down. When it happens, how long it lasts, and what you were doing right before. The same symptom log I've talked about on other videos and posted in my website in the link below. A neurologist who hears I get a crawling sensation on my left arm most evenings, right before I fall asleep, making it really hard to get to sleep, well, they can actually do something with that. And a neurologist who hears I feel weird sometimes often can't. It's just vague, you know? If you want an easy tool to log these, grab my free MS symptom tracker on my website linked below. It's built to capture exactly this kind of detail, as well as 2 other freebies on my site. Also, throw your email at me while you're there so that you can get more good stuff and updates. I want to hear from you in this. Which of these 8 did you recognize? Drop the number in the comments. I do read every one, as I've said before, and I promise whichever one it is, you are more than likely not the only person who's felt that. And if you happen to want to speak directly with someone who has experienced at least some of these symptoms, well, look into the link there to do a one-to-one with me. That is what I have for now. Be sure to check out my other videos. You know it's coming. Be sure to share with others, like it, comment, subscribe, all the things, even notification bell, and I will catch you in the next video.